My name is Sylvia Matasi. I'm a partner at Simba and Simba Advocates. I am an advocate of 9 years. I turned 9 years in November. I have been involved in the creative industry for quite a while. I have done some bit of poetry. I have been involved in the poetry industry in terms of judging a couple of events. But what I can say is I love what this week stands for, because we can always use art in the social justice industry and in the political arena, because artists can actually come out and call on our politicians on the wrongs they are doing. And of course, for us Kenyans at this period where we are approaching elections, what I would like to see is artists stepping up and actually sensitizing the people, sensitizing the youth. The youth form a majority of the people in this country. I think 56% of people in Kenya are youth, women and men, and the youth relate very well to the artistic industry. So I feel that artists can actually use their talents to actually sensitize people on like right now, taking of votes, voter registration, going out to vote, because at the end of the day, your voice needs to be heard. And the only way you put in the leaders that you want is by going to vote. So like for us during this season, I wish to see more artists out there coming up with songs, poetry, films, and just sensitizing the youth, because this is how the youth relate to the day-to-day environment. Use TikTok to tell people to go and vote. Use Instagram, share things from, you can share a short film telling people why they should go and vote. And I think for me, the artists have the power in their hands to actually change our political and social social arena in this industry today. So for me, artists have been undermined for a very long time, and for me, I think artists have the power to actually influence how our leaders conduct their business, how our actually to implement our constitution. I think artists have that power. Even come up with a song about our constitution and how we should implement it. I like that song about Eric Wainaina sang about Kenya. That song has been played far and wide, and so many people can relate Kenya to that. And that's a song. He's an artist. So, and artists are not all the singers and musicians, the famous people that everyone knows. Those ones who have made it, those ones out there. There are artists in this country who, if you give them a chance, they might not be the top artists in this country, but if you give them a chance, they are able to showcase something beautiful for this country. So for me, I think our artists have not stepped up to what I really think their potential is. I think they can be really an influence in this country. I think there's a misconception on who artists are, activism is, and activists are. Of course, there are those activists who will go out to the streets and campaign and do all those things. But we've seen activism work on social media. We have pushed agendas on social media. And that is the same activism. It's just that it's not the street, the aggressive one. But we've done it on social media, and our voices have been heard. And the government has been forced to change things because KOT has been trending on Twitter, or someone said something on Facebook. So it doesn't necessarily mean to, doesn't necessarily have to be aggressive as people perceive activism to be. You can push your agenda through legislation, not necessarily going to the streets. So at the end of the day, I think there's been a great misconception, and it doesn't have to be aggressive. It just has to be, how do you push your agenda? How do we get our voices heard? Which doesn't necessarily mean go to the streets. So there are those ones who go to the streets, which is a very good way of enforcing or having your rights to be heard. And there are those ones who can passively do it by pushing an agenda or like legislation in parliament. And also social media has actually worked in terms of pushing our agenda and our voices to be heard. So I think there's a great misconception on that. In our law firm, we have an IP division that specifically, and I keep on telling all our clients, it is your right to protect your brand. Because if you're known as, this is my brand, you protect your brand. So indeed, creatives can actually earn from their own brands. And take, for example, registering a copyright for your song. Copyright registration ensures that your song is only played when you authorize it to. And of course, if anyone wants to use your song, they have to ask for your permission and you earn from it. You see, if I want to run an advertisement and use your song at the bottom of that advertisement, that media house has to pay you to run that song. So if there's any creative outside there and their song is being played without their authorization, of course you can prove copyright. And you see, copyright, yes, it has to be registered, but it is you to come and demonstrate and say, this is my song, I authored it. And of course you have to say how you authored that song. So you can literally, you can earn from it. And even poetry, at the end of the day, if you can prove this is your poem and anyone has used it against, without your authorization, then of course they are penalized for it. But having your brand, like I keep on saying, you as a brand, as putting your brand out there so that anyone like this media house wants to use your song will remember, oh, this song is sung by Sylvia. So they reach out to you and you sign an agreement, and this song runs for a certain period and you're paid for it. So it is possible. It works in the US and the UK, and they get paid for their songs and entities using their songs and their artistic work. So yeah, it works. There's a great misconception that copyright is expensive. Copyright is not expensive. The Kenya Institute of Property, the Kenya Industrial Property Institute, KIPI, has a website. When you open that website, it has forms, especially on copyright, and it's not expensive. It's not 100,000. It's money that a normal artist can afford, and you just register a copyright and get a certificate from it. That is proof that this is your song. And for creatives, they need to realize that you don't earn only from performing those songs. You earn from endorsements. You earn from like the way I said, the media house is running your song. It is not performance only. They need to look outside, and the only way they look outside and protect their works and them being recognized that this is their work is by registering their songs, and so that they get copyright from it. My take home today is, especially for women in the creative industry, is that we can be if we choose to be. And of course the men have to give the women the space to actually be who they are. I think for the longest time, women have been oppressed, and not even in the creative industry, women have not been given that chance. And I think for the longest time, we are saying, do not give us for free, give us the opportunity, level the platform and give us that opportunity, then we can rise above the ranks. I love what women have been right now. They have grown and become CEOs. Our Chief Justice is a woman. And for me, that shows us that if you level that playground and you give these women the chance to create, and you give them the chance to just show their artistic work, they are going to rise. Because I was even saying in the session inside, if you, to name 1 to 10 top artists or poets in poets in this country, how many are women? How many? I actually challenged myself, how many poets do I know that are women? I mentioned male poets, but how many women poets do I mention? And of course, there's so many things that have been said inside about what suppresses women. But me, what I'm saying is, give us a level playing ground and say, here it is. You level it, whether male and female, let's get out there. Because I know we have the potential, and it's there. We have seen CEOs, our Chief Justice is a woman, CEOs of different multinational companies are actually women, and meaning we can. It's actually possible. It's not that we are less, and women need to realize that we support each other. All we keep on saying is, yes, I support you, but when it comes literally to the ground, we don't support each other. Even we are the majority, women are majority in this country. Even in the world, there are more women than men. But how comes when a man runs for political office, we are the women who go, and there's a woman who's running for political office, we are the ones saying, that woman cannot do it. This woman, you start looking for faults in this woman, but when this man falls, no one attacks him. But when a woman falls, it becomes a huge thing. Like everyone says, you failed, you're a terrible person. But when a man falls, you give them a second chance. So let's level the playground. Let's level the field and give women more time, give women the chance to actually create. And it will be amazing.